Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tang, and I'm the Executive Director of the U.S. Regional Center Group, and happy to be here with you virtually. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we couldn't make it to Korea for this, but we look forward to being there and visiting very soon. So today we're going to talk through three of our projects, the first one of which is the Echelon Seaport project for the NCE Boston Seaport M Investors LLC. We'll start by taking a look at some of the quick stats. So from a job creation perspective, we've created 100% of the job creation, and nearly 7,000 jobs have been created, 6,968 jobs, give or take. We currently have 88 I-526 approvals with 0 I-829 submissions. We do expect the first 829 submission to happen towards the end of this year. From the project update side, the project was completed and delivered in the middle of COVID nearly 1 year ago today. And there was a 3-month delay to the construction of the project overall due to COVID as the city of Boston shut down construction. So it affected all development projects in the city of Boston. Even with that, the project was able to then finish construction and has sold and leased up very well. 330 condo units have been sold to date. The multifamily tower is effectively stabilized and fully leased up. The retail and the multifamily tower have also been sold. The retail was sold to a local developer, WS, and the multifamily tower was sold in a joint venture between Conwood Group and Hana Financial. For this particular project, we do envision that we will need some level of redeployment in the near future. Right now, with the sale of the retail and the multifamily, there is some amount of cash that will be coming back. We're still kind of working through the numbers to determine how much that will be. And there has been a notice sent out to some investors in that regard. When the time comes to do a redeployment, we will be reaching back out to investors to initiate a voting process that allow us to then select, or the investors to select the redeployment project that they wish for, and the one that gets sufficient votes will be the one that the NCE will undertake. Treasure Island Phase 1, which is the EB5 NCE Treasure Island Development Fund 1 LLC. So as the first phase of the Treasure Island development, to date, we've already created 100% of the jobs. We have over 298 I-526 approvals and no I-829 submissions yet. We do expect 829 submissions later this year to begin. From the project side of things, the construction is about 64% complete based on the budget and how much money has been spent to date. Street improvements are effectively done and will be completed over the next several months. From the sales of land lots perspective, the sponsor has been able to sell a portion of the land lots as they had originally planned in the business plan. For this project, there was also a delay impact due to COVID, and there was an extension already provided to the sponsor on this particular loan. We do, at this point, expect that we will need to have another conversation closer to the maturity of this loan, which is later in 2024. At that point, we will make a determination about the possibility and need for redeployment. But as of the moment, there is nothing to discuss on the redeployment as of yet. Just like our other projects, if we do end up doing a redeployment, a notice will be sent to investors for investors to vote on the redeployment, and that is how we will process that at that point in time. So moving on to our second project in Treasure Island in San Francisco. This is for the NCE Treasure Island Development Fund 2 LLC. Again, from quick stats here, the job creation, we have over 617 jobs created. We have not yet created all of the jobs for this particular NCE. There are 68 I-526 approvals and 3 I-829 submissions to date. From this project update, the delay due to COVID was a little bit longer. So we experienced 6 to 9 months of delay due to COVID as the city and the state took a pretty aggressive stance on shutting things down to prevent the spread of the pandemic. And so with that, as of Q3 of last year, the project is about 39% complete based on the budget. one big milestone was the ferry improvement. That was a new ferry terminal and is now complete. On this project, we still have a little bit of time until the maturity of the loan. So at this point, there is no real contemplated redeployment. We do also believe that the sponsor is going to extend the loan for at least one more year when the loan does mature. So that does give us a little bit of time until we have to consider a redeployment. But just like our other projects, when the time comes for us to redeploy, we will be reaching out to the investors to initiate a voting process on the redeployment project. The last project we'll talk about is the Metropolis Los Angeles project. This is for the NCE Greenland LA Metropolis Development 2, which financed the second condominium tower of the Greenland Metropolis LA project. So the project was delivered before COVID, so all of the jobs have been created. We have 118 I-526 approvals, and we have 1829 submission. Now, while COVID did not impact this particular project's construction because it was already delivered, it did have an impact on the sales of the condos. So the velocity and the pricing of the condos have definitely been hurt by the pandemic, as a lot of condo sales in the Los Angeles market, particularly in downtown, were negatively impacted by COVID. So as of right now, there's 277 condos sold. There is a portion of them that are under contract but have not yet closed. And that continues to be something that the developer continues to work on. The developer has continued to try to make progress in its sales and using different tactics and concessions, just like everyone has, but we still have not reached back to where pre-pandemic velocity and pricing have been. With that said, we do not believe that we will need to do a redeployment on this particular project because the borrower is most likely going to require an extension on the loan, and we most likely will be giving them an extension on the loan so that we do not need a redeployment at this point in time. The collateral and the security of the loan still remains very strong in our opinion. So with that, that's the end of the presentation for our three projects. If you have any particular questions, please feel free to reach out to your agent or reach us directly, and your agent can also help you reach us. And with that, thanks very much.